Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for another Pokemon TCG live online match video featuring Pokémon-GX from the most recent Guardians Rising expansion of Pokemon TCG. It's a Pokemon this week that I wanted to use for a little while. I was trying to think of the good strategy, or kind of the best strategy to make use of it, and I think I came up with something kind of, it's a little bit risky, but if it works, it pays off pretty well. So we're going to jump right in and take a look at what I'm calling the Apex Predator. It's going to focus on a Pokemon which I think should be pronounced Toxapex, but it's easier to pronounce it Toxapex. Of course, you see Toxapex-GX here is a Psychic-type Pokemon, Stage 1, evolving from a Basic, with 210 HP. For a single Psychic Energy, Spike Cannon does 30 times. Flip 4 coins, 30 damage for each heads. Of course, you're going to want to probably focus on the Super Intense Poison for 3 Psychic Energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Put 10 damage counters on it instead of 1. That's going to be a lot of power. If they don't heal, that's 200 damage within 2 turns. And we have the GX attack being Total Shelter GX, which does 150, also for 3 Psychic Energy, but prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. So, a 1-turn complete immunity, unless, of course, they can somehow escape rope it to the bench, Lysandre it back up, then that effect is gone. Once they go to the bench, of course, hovering effects like that are taken away from the Pokemon in play. But, barring that, we'll be immune to all effects of attacks for that next following turn. So I do have a couple of Toxapex-GX in the deck. I've got 3 of the basic Marini, which are not too bad in the sense that you don't really do damage, but you can poison without a coin flip for 1 Psychic Energy. And to make use of trying to get this thing powered up quickly, we're going to try and use the, Roaring Skies Togekiss. First of all, with the Delta Evolution Ancient trait, you may play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your first turn, or the turn you play that Pokemon. And ability of Serene Grace. When you play this Pokemon from hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may look at the top 8 cards of your deck, choose any basic energy cards you find there, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, and then shuffle the other cards back in. It could do Fairy Wind for 60 if I had Fairy Energy in the deck. I do not, so ignore that. But the ability is why Togekiss is here. I've got 2 of them in the deck, 2 Togetic and 3 basic Togepi, just for evolving up, try to get that energy accelerated onto Toxapex-GX as quick as possible. It's going to be, at minimum, a 2-turn setup anyway, because we're going to take a full turn to get Toxapex, or 2 turns to get Toxapex-GX into play. And if we have both Togetic and Togekiss in hand, on turn 2, after Togepi's been in play, we can evolve into Togetic. The Ancient trait allows Togekiss to evolve right then, so on turn 2 we could have a fully powered Toxapex. Now, how do we get the Pokemon that we need? One of my favorite cards from the Sun and Moon... Is this the base set? No, this is the Guardians Rising. Alolan Vulpix. For 0 energy, Beacon says search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand. So, if I have Togepi on the bench already, as Vulpix uses the attack, I could choose Togetic and Togekiss. Next turn, I can play both of those, unless the opponent decides to, I don't know, end me, which happens quite often when I'm doing searching, things like that. But we'll see how things play out this week. So I've got 3 Alolan Vulpix in the deck, making it 15 Pokemon total. Scrolling down to the energy, it is just basic Psychic Energy, 12 of those in the deck. Now, of course, the trainer cards are where it's at for a competitive deck. Not that this is super competitive. It's, again, one of my kind of kooky, crazy strategies, but it's as competitive as I can kind of make it. Actually, that's not true. I could do more to this, I was thinking. I could add more Skyla. I could more level balls, maybe, but I kind of like having things creative and interesting. Anyway, we've got 2 big Malasadas, healing 20 damage, and a special condition from your active Pokemon. I have 1 Eco Arm. Shuffle 3 Pokemon tool cards from your discard pile into your deck. You'll see, well, you can probably see right to the bottom right what tools I'm using, but the Eco Arm is going to bring them back in after I've discarded them, put them back in the deck. Alright, now 2 things I got to keep in mind with the possible super intense poisoning. If the opponent has ways to make themselves immune to special conditions, or something like prevent effects of attacks, I have to try to figure that out. In fact, I just thought of something else I should put in the deck, but I don't know what I would take out for it. Anyway, I've got 2 Enhanced Hammers. It is pretty rare that you see this, at least in my experience, but if someone has Wonder Energy attached to a Fairy Pokemon, it provides Fairy Energy, but prevents all effects of attacks, except for damage. So the Enhanced Hammer could knock that away, therefore they are now susceptible to the super intense poison. So I've got 2 Enhanced Hammers in here. Also just good for getting rid of like double Colorless Energy, double Dragon Energy if they have Dragon types, whatever special energy they use, Enhanced Hammer can get rid of those. I've got 2 Field Blowers, because if they have the Bent Spoon tool attached, preventing effects of attacks done to the Pokemon, I can blow that away with the Field Blower. Also get rid of whatever stadium cards are in play. And if I need to get rid of my own tools for whatever reason, I won't be doing that, because you'll see the tools I'm using discard themselves after one turn. Or technically after 2 turns, mine then the opponent's. But you'll see that when we get to it. Got a couple level balls in here to find any Pokemon of 90 HP or less. I can use that for, more often than not, get the Alolan Vulpix down, or get it into my hand, then onto the bench. I can also grab a Togetic if I have Togekiss in hand. I can, let's say Togepi's in play, level ball for Togetic, play it down, Togekiss immediately, Energy Acceleration, if there's some decent cards of energy types on the top of the deck. And we got 2 Professor's Letters. I was kind of iffy. Do I want to use these? Because the whole idea of the energy is going to be... Now I'm thinking. So the whole idea of the energy is using the ability of Togekiss to accelerate the energy. I could take one of these out. I'm going to do a live edit here. Where's my trainer cards? I'm going to take out one of those Professor's Letters. I want to keep one in case I do need to get some energy in hand. Wait a minute, I'm not done yet. Go back to the expanded view. There we go. So of course, Professor's Letter. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, put them into your hand. And I've got a number of different supporter cards, so I'm going to include a couple of our random receivers. These are not competitive by any means, but for the decks that I like to put together that are kooky, crazy ideas, I like them because they're kind of fun. You don't know what you're going to find. You just reveal the cards from the top of your deck until you find your first supporter, and then take that supporter into your hand. Now I've got 2 Super Rods to shuffle back energy cards, mostly. I might get some Pokemon back with that as well, but the idea, put as much energy back in the deck as possible before using Togekiss's Serene Grace Ability. Try to maximize the amount of energy cards you're going to be getting attached to Pokemon using Togekiss. A couple of Ultra Balls, discard 2 cards from hand, search your deck for any Pokemon, and take it. I could use that to discard a couple of basic Psychic Energy, choose a Pokemon. I could then Super Rod the energy back in, and as I just said, maximize the Serene Grace potential. I've got 2 Versus Seekers, bring back a supporter card from the discard pile. And let's go down to this other item right here. It's the tool, of course, Bursting Balloon. Now, I'm going to make it so nobody wants to hit my Toxapex, or maybe they can't hit my Toxapex. If the Pokemon holding this item is attacked by, or damaged by an attack from an opposing Pokemon, then that Pokemon takes 6 damage counters in recoil. Now, this does discard at the end of my opponent's next turn. So I've got 3 of these in the deck. That's why I've got the Eco Arm. If I go through all 3, I can shuffle those 3 back in and have 6 total, 3 more uses of Bursting Balloon. Now, that's on turns when I don't use that Total Shelter GX. When I use the Total Shelter GX, I'm not going to attach this Bursting Balloon because they can't damage me anyway. So I'm going to save the tool for that. But either way, I'm going to try to make it so that Toxapex either takes no damage or takes a lot of gives a lot of recoil. If they do hit themselves for 6 damage counters from this Bursting Balloon, depending on which Pokemon they're using, the Super Intense Poison could take them out, because it could go up to 160 damage. Who knows? Of course, a lot of the GXs and EXs have more than 160, but we'll see what happens anyway. Now then, going up to the Stadium cards, the Altar of the Moon. The retreat cost of each Pokemon that has any Psychic or Darkness energy attached to it is 2 colorless less, which is kind of helpful for our Toxapex. It does have a 3 retreat cost. It's kind of interesting. The Marini from this set has a 3 retreat cost, but the basic Sun and Moon base set Marini has only 1. So with a Psychic energy attached, everything except the Toxapex is going to have a 3 retreat cost. Toxapex only has a 1 retreat cost at that point, though, so that's pretty good. Now then, we've got supporter cards in the form of Hex Maniac, and this right here is for something like, for example, Eradicate with the Antibodies ability that prevents special conditions. It's for... what else was I thinking? I don't know. It's just good to shut down the opposing abilities regardless. So I'm going to include Hex Maniac for that purpose. When you play it, until the end of your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon in play, in hand, and in discard piles have no abilities. That includes cards that come into play on that turn. So I'm not going to use that before playing, of course, my Serene Grace Togekiss, but that's my only ability this week. So once I've played Togekiss, I can freely shut down the opposing abilities using Hex Maniac. I've also got Lily in here. Draw cards until you have 6 in hand, but if it's your first turn, draw it until you have 8. I've got Lysandre in here. Every deck needs at least 1 Lysandre. Say it with me. I've got Mallow here. Now, she's being included for trying to maximize Serene Grace. Search your deck for 2 cards. In this case, it'll be 2 basic Psychic. Shuffle the deck and put those 2 cards on top in any order. That's going to ensure, as long as I have Togekiss in hand and can play it immediately, that 2 Psychic Energy at minimum are going to be attached to a Pokemon. Could come in handy. I've got an N in here as well. I had Sycamore in here, and I thought, no, you know what? If the opponent happens to be using anything that searches as well, for example, Sylveon-GX's Magical Ribbon, or Metagross-GX's Algorithm GX, I can use N to shuffle away whatever cards they've chosen to take. could come in handy. Also get me a whole fresh hand of cards too. Pokemon Center Lady, healing 60 damage and all special conditions from a Pokemon. Professor Kukui to draw 2 extra cards and do 20 more damage that turn, so that could power up the Total Shelter GX. It's not going to help with the super intense poison, of course, but if we do get to use a Total Shelter GX, then good stuff. In fact, do I even really need Kukui? Because we're not going to do a lot of damage intentionally. I'm thinking I could replace him with something else, but I want draw support. I don't know. Let me think here. I'll get 2 Skylas in here as well. Search for any trainer card you want from the deck and put it into your hand. So I do have to add another card, and the card that I want to add is Pokemon Ranger. What this card does, remove all effects of attack on each player and his or her Pokemon. So if the opponent uses something like, excuse me, Crystal Ray, Glaceon EX. Crystal Ray prevents all effects of attacks, including damage done by evolved Pokemon on the next turn. I can eliminate that using Pokemon Ranger. Other effects could be, very detrimental to my strategy, so that could come in handy, getting rid of whatever ability or whatever effect that is. What do I want for draw support, everybody? I could just go with a simple How. I could put Sycamore back in, though. Like, do I want to replace Kukui? I don't know, on the off chance that we can use him for the Total Shelter GX, I'll keep him in, I guess. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So that is going to be the Apex Predator deck. Did I say that? Apex Predator deck. Kind of messed up my words. We've got 15 Pokemon, 33 trainer cards, 12 energy cards, and a code card down below, or at least a code from a code card for you folks out there for an X and Y Evolutions booster pack down below the face cam, of course. First come, first served. Grab that code, copy it down, pause the video, whatever you want to do, and come here to your good old shopping cart for Pokemon TCG Online. Redeem the code and get yourself a 10-card booster pack of Pokemon TCG X and Y Evolutions here in the online game. First come, first served, of course. And just so you know, this is going to be the only card or only code in this week's video, because I'm running low on the codes that I have in reserve to give out in these videos, so I want to sort of space them out a little bit. I've got a few more left, a little tiny handful. We're going to keep giving those out as time goes on. But if you want a chance to win code cards, of course, go back and check out, which I might link to during the outro, our pre-release coverage of the Burning Shadows expansion coming out on this Friday, actually. So I've given out a question of the day. You have a chance to win all sorts of code cards from there. I think there's 8 code cards up for grabs from the new Burning Shadows expansion. So if you want some free cards online, that's a good way to get it. But we do have 15 Pokemon, 33 trainers, 12 energy. It's now time to jump into battle and see how well this kind of kooky crazy strategy works out, featuring Toxapex-GX in this week's Pokemon TCG Live online match. Alright, our first opponent is up. It is Rodes Graca? What? How come I can never pronounce names anymore? We're going to call for the head side. If we get it, we want to go second, and I'm hoping to lead with an Alolan Vulpix. I will go second, thank you. If we can get Vulpix as one of our lead Pokemon, we can use the beacon immediately. We got 2 of them. I would have liked something else on the bench. We have Skyla for a level ball. That could be very good. I could Skyla for another level ball as well. I think first order of business is I will, of course, play one of the Alolan Vulpix. I'm going to use Skyla for a level ball to get a Togepi on the bench. I will use Vulpix, the beacon attack, to get Togetic and Togekiss. And next turn I can Skyla for another level ball for a Marini. That might be the best way to play these out. So, what does the opponent have to work with? I didn't even look at the energy types. I always get so hung up trying to read the name. I gotta get into a different pattern. I gotta look at the energy types first and then read the name when we're here, because you can see the name. Energy types, I have no clue, except I see Psychic and Colorless. So, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be another one of them Trashalanche Pokemon. Another one of the Trashalanche decks, I mean to say. Which means I want to sort of be minimum with which items I'm using. Or how many items I'm using. So we're going to see Espeon-GX. There it is. Oh, nice full art. You just got to show off the fact you got a full art, don't you? I have one in here too, so I can't really fault them for that. Another Vulpix. Let's go with a Skyla. Grab ourselves. We do have both level balls in here. That is definitely good. We will grab a Togepi. We have 2 Togekiss. We got, 2 Togetic, 2 Togekiss. We got all the Toxapex-GX. Okay, we're in a good spot. We got 2 Marini in here, so one must be prized. We'll drop the Togekiss, or Togepi. I can't even speak. I'm going to put this onto the Alolan Vulpix for retreat purposes. I do have the Altar of the Moon. And now let's go ahead and encourage them to use themselves an end card. I'm going to grab Togekiss and Togekiss. Into hand they go. So as long as they don't shuffle me away, I can put them into play. But I want to use Skyla, get the other level ball first of all. So we're going to see the ability blocker. No, we're not. That is Trashalanche Garbodor. Okay, good, because if they blocked our ability, that would be pretty annoying on essentially turn 2 of me getting things set up. So they do Ultra Ball, a teammate, and what else was that? Like another Espeon. Oh, they didn't want the full art. They want the full art. They're like, oh, the regular art, that's garbage. Throw that out. That's mean. We're going to see a Shaman. No, top. Ooh, that's not bad. Toxapex-GX. Play it down with Wonder Tag ability. You can search for any supporter card that you want from the deck. They do have to reveal it, though, so let's see. Don't be end. If you're end, okay, that's fine. You can't end my cards away. Just don't have, like, a red card or anything, too, because that would be detrimental to what I have planned. That was a good draw, though. Good Sycamore. Discard nothing from hand, because your hand was empty, and draw 7 fresh cards. And discard the top card of my deck. No, I need that card. Watch it be the level ball. Of course, you could just... No, you can't retreat just yet. Psychic Energy. That is totally fine. You can get rid of your Float Stone, but we're going to keep it for the time being. Let us go for Skyla. Get ourselves that other level ball. Find ourselves Marini. Put that on the bench. And... I guess we're at maximum potential right now for Energy Grace. Nothing else we can really try to thin the deck out otherwise of energy cards. So let's just go ahead, drop the Togekiss. Togekiss evolves immediately. Come on, show us the energy cards. Like I said, it's kind of risky. I'm only getting 2. Come on to the Marini here. And if they have a Lysandre, this could be a pretty bad way to beat. But we're going to Beacon. Let's go ahead with... Let's go with our full art card. And Togekiss. If I can get a second Serene Grace fired up, this will be very useful. Excuse me. I do have N, though. I can shuffle my hand away and hope for just another basic energy card. Once I have one more, I can take down the Trubbish. Alright, so how many items have I used? Only 2. They can only hit me 40 times 2 per weakness, so 80 using Trashalanche. As long as I minimize the amount of items I play, that's not too much to worry about. There's the other Garbodor. Now, they still can't knock out the Vulpix just yet. If a Lysandre, they can bring up my Marini, though, which would be pretty bad. Wait, they can just hit me for that attack. I've never seen... Yeah, there's that switch. I've never seen Acid Spray really do anything. No one ever uses Acid Spray. That's annoying. So there's my first. What does that do? Flip a coin if heads, discard an energy from the active Pokemon. Alright. So we lose that one. We have no way of getting ourselves a Marini in play. We're going to drop this Togepi. Let's... I think the best bet... I'm going to first drop the Altar of the Moon. I'm going to now end. Giving them some, 2 extra cards. But I need more cards. I need more useful cards, like the Marini right here. I was hoping to find myself a Crushing Hammer. Or, Enhanced Hammer. But that does not happen to be the way things are going to go for me. We're going to play the Random Receiver, find ourselves a Pokemon Center Lady. And let's power up our Marini on the bench. Let us Beacon for another Togekiss and Togekiss. We have Toxapex-GX in hand. Just don't Versus Secret me or Lysandre me again, and we got this wrapped up. Not really. It's way too early to call that, but we're in a better spot at least than we were just moments ago. And that's going to be the end of the match. Or not. Why would they not have gone for the attack? Interesting. Regardless, we're going to evolve up into Toxapex-GX. What I want to do here... I don't think I need to retreat now. I'm going to play the Field Blower, get rid of the Float Stone and the Stadium. I'm going to play a Versus Seeker, grab ourselves Skyla. I'm gonna find a Super Rod for her. Shuffle back in some of the energy cards that we have been so brutally robbed of this whole time. Alright, Super Rod comes in, we're gonna shuffle in 3 basic Psychic. I really have to bank on the hope that we're going to get at least 2 in our top cards. Come on, we got this, Togekiss. You can power us up. 3. Alright, we'll grab all 3 of them. I'll attach 2, of course, to the Toxapex-GX. I'll put 1 on a Togekiss. I can never say the name right. Togekiss, in case we have to do any retrieving. So it's weak to Psychic. I could take a chance and go with 2, or try to flip 2 coins with our Spike Cannon. That would be a knockout. I'm gonna play risky. I probably shouldn't. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, okay, 3. That's at least a knockout there, though, which I will take. What do we find ourselves? We got an enhanced hammer. Could have used that a little while ago, but okay. So this comes up now. What can it do to us? How many items can we use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 120 times 2 for weakness. That's 240. I should have used my Total Shelter GX. But they might not get a Psychic Energy, though. That could be very useful to us. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Let's enhance that hammer away. And we don't need to Field Blower that away. Yeah, my opponent's heartbroken. I'm going to use the Total Shelter GX now, which I should have done last time. Keep ourselves protected for a turn here. Grab ourselves a Super Rod. Now, if we can find Lysandre, what would I need to flip? 3 heads. Yeah, I would need to get 3 heads to be able to knock out this Espeon-GX in 1 hit. So I might not win this one. We are up against our type weakness, unfortunately. Of course, so are they. But, ooh, there goes the teammates. They're going to get 2 cards of their choice from within the deck. So, as I said, we might not win this one. We tied it up at least. But you're seeing the strategy here of energy acceleration with the Serene Grace. And we haven't even used the super intense poison yet. I'm going to use that next turn. You saw the GX attack. You saw the basic 1 energy attack, the Spike Cannon. We got to show off that 3rd attack to give Toxapex-GX its time to shine in the spotlight. You're going to see that in just a moment, unless this Trubbish evolves. Which it's not going to. Of course it's not going to. I would have liked to get a Lysandre, however. Here's the Float Stone, which we'll do. Just because I expect they might want to bring the Trubbish up and see if they can power up that Espeon. So let's go with a super intense poison. Now watch this. The poison marker has a 10 on it, so you know you get 10 damage counters instead of 1. Oh, that is wacky stuff. We get ourselves a Marini. The last one that we have, of course, in the deck. We could shuffle things back in with Super Rod, though. But with our 2 Togekiss already in play, we've already done as much damage as we can. I mean, gotten as much energy as we can. We are losing the Toxapex-GX here. 2 weakness. That's 2 prizes being claimed. Vulpix is going to come up. Well, I could do this. I'll drop the Marini. I will Super Rod back in. Toxapex, some energy, I guess. And we will use our Beacon to get ourselves Toxapex again. Did we use the full art yet? I think we did. Let's use this one, just to show that off. Or wait, was that the one we used? I don't know. It's the same card. Sometimes people are like, I need to get 4 full art copies of this particular card. And I'm thinking, why? And they're thinking, because they have to have consistency. And it's like, you do know those cards work just as well as the non-full art, right? But of course, the full art is rare to get, so I kind of want to get those. As my opponent is coming dangerously close to decking out. I doubt it's going to happen. Did I use my Professor's Letter yet? I don't think. I haven't. If I can find that, don't Lysandre. Yeah, you're scared of my Toxapex, aren't you? I see what's going on. So, Rescue Stretcher. Are we going to shuffle 3 back in or take just 1 into hand? That's the options you have with your Rescue Stretcher. It's kind of cool. In a way, if it was just shuffle 3 Pokemon back in, it's just like Super Rod, but less versatile. But they do have that feature of choosing to take 1 into hand instead, which is actually not that bad. Bring any Pokemon back that's been knocked out. Ultra Ball for, ooh, Oh, wait, they got rid of Lysandre? Probably gonna try to finish up with the Garbo, not Garbo Toxin, with the Trashalanche. They can Psychic me and knock me out here. Yeah, there's that knockout. Alright, if I can find one basic energy and get 3 coin flips of heads, I can knock this thing out. There's the energy, there's Toxapex. And problem is, though, even if we knock this thing out, I'm pretty sure at this point Trashalanche gets the knockout. In fact, yeah, it did earlier, and I think I've used more items since then. Let's bank it all on Spike Cannon. 1 heads, 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads! Down goes Espeon-GX. So this is going to wind up in a loss. A very, very slim loss, though, because we bring ourselves down to 1 prize, but the Trashalanche does us in, plus I get the choice band for even more power. Do you just go for the attack? You do, as we say. You're welcome to play cards out with how close this match came. 420. Now, I guess what I should have done in my training, my testing, I did hold off on using the Total Shelter GX until the next to last Pokemon was knocked out, because that way on the final turn they couldn't do anything back to my Toxapex-GX. I kind of had to use it earlier in case the Espeon came up, though, so unfortunately this was a matter of being weak to the types of the opposing Pokemon. Did I use any Bursting Balloons? I should have put weakness policies in there. That would have been very good. In fact, no, they still would have knocked me out with the Choice Band and Trashalanche right there. That would have been 210 before weakness. That was my max HP. So anyway, all that being said, this was a match. You get to see the power of the Serene Grace of Togekiss, but more importantly, all 3 attacks of our good old Toxapex-GX. That was a good match. I'm enjoying that. I am enjoying that. I have enjoyed that. It's good stuff. So that is this week's Pokemon TCG Live Online match featuring Toxapex-GX, and as I say, unfortunately I didn't get a win, but it was a pretty darn close match, if I do say so. Type weakness back and forth. I was saying my type weakness meant I was at a disadvantage, but that's not true, because if I hadn't had type advantage over their psychic types, Spike Cannon wouldn't have done as much damage, and with those lucky coin flips of 4 heads, and I wouldn't have gotten a knockout on Espeon-GX. It was kind of funny. In the first build of this, I did throw a couple of Victini in with the Victory Star ability, which allows you to, if you want to, reflip attack coins, or reflip coins for an attack if you don't like how the first results come out. And I thought, I'm not really going to focus on Spike Cannon that much in this match. It's going to be the Poisoning, it's going to be the Total Shelter, but I kind of needed to use Spike Cannon right there when I had to. So anyway, all that being said, that is what you see with the power of Toxapex-GX. Now, it is the 30th of July today. No, 31st, which means there are 4 days until Burning Shadows comes out, at which point I'll be doing a Burning Shadows personal version of a pre-release video here on the channel, where I do some random pack openings and build a deck of the Pokemon that I find in there. But that means there are still a couple days left to try to get another couple Pokemon featured on the channel, the Tapus of Generation, well, of course, Generation 7. They're the only generation with Tapus in them. But the Tapu of Melee Island and Akala Island? Ula is Bulu. Pony is Finny. Yes! I got the names right. It's been a while since I played Sun and Moon. I'm forgetting the names of the islands and stuff already. But what I might try to do is do separate videos for each of them, if I can get my hands on these cards. Or if nothing else, if I'm running out of time, I might try to put both Tapu into one deck and just kind of see what happens there. So we got Tapu Koko GX, Tapu Lele GX. See what we can do for the next video. Hopefully I can get 2 more videos done to give each one their own time to shine independent of one another. But if time is kind of in a crunch, I'll try to speed through and put them both into one deck. But anyway, if I do one video, or 2 videos, 1 each, which one would you like to see first? Koko or Lele? Just leave me a comment down below. And of course, if you like this week's video and the deck idea, feel free to drop a like on this video and leave any comments you have to sort of improve the deck and make it more cohesive and coherent, more consistent. I keep using those 3 C words. I always want to say consistent, but I come up with coherent and cohesive. Am I even using those words right? I might not even be. Regardless, though, that is what we have for this week. But if you have any suggestions how to improve it for anyone else out there that wants to make use of Toxapex-GX, leave comments on that down below as well. But I guess with that, we're going to wrap things up. If you want to see some more videos from good old Professor Chaz here, you can click on some links during the outro to some more videos, or click on my face to subscribe to the channel for daily Pokemon content updates, such as these videos, Pokemon TCG Online. We've got Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battling, which just went over on the weekend. We've got Coliseum playthrough as well going on. All sorts of good Pokemon stuff. And what else was I going to say? If you want to see some more Pokemon TCG Online matches, there's a link in the description of this video to a whole playlist of, what are we at, 90? 80 something? I don't know. We're at a lot of videos of Pokemon TCG online. Click the link in the description. You can see all the videos right there in a nice tidy little playlist. And with that, we are going to get out of here. Professor Chaz is once again saying thanks for watching, and I'm signing off. I'll catch you next time.